we doing, YouTube? Stevie here. Oh, what is it? 22nd? January 22nd? About 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm down here in... Where am I at? Outside of Cincinnati. A little bit, I believe, is where I am. Franklin, Ohio. Getting loaded. Was home last night. I made it home last night. I could have maybe driven another hour or so. Maybe a tick further than that. But that's... When you leave northwest Indiana and you head east or you head south from my house, parking gets a little bit sketchy. Parking's tough around Indy, if I could have got quite that far. Fort Wayne is tough to park at, especially at late. As I got home, it was after dark. What time was it? 6 o'clock? 7? Something like that. It was after dark. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to call it right here. This is good enough. And got up this morning, left right about daylight or right after. I did chores and everything, make sure everything was okay. And buzzed down here to my delivery, which was not too far outside of Cincinnati. Where did I deliver at? Monroe to a Home Depot. I have been to this Home Depot. You know what? I might not have been to this Home Depot before. Upon review, as they say in football. And then they didn't have an empty for me at that location, but they said they had one at a different location. And I should have paid a little bit better attention because they put a trailer number on this piece of paper, and it wasn't one of our trailer numbers. I realized when I got over there. It's like 7 miles away. About 7 miles away. 20 minutes. And then as soon as I got over there, I looked at it. Well, that trailer is not one of our numbers. I said, well, hopefully they got one over there. Well, they did not have an ARCA trailer over there. So now I got to call it HQ, and they said, oh, we got one at this other location. It's supposed to be. I've been there for a week, so it should be there. Well, they could have long since stole it by then, somebody else. But I get over to this other location, and they had one. They had two. And then they had a gate guard that was very chatty. She was nice enough, but very chatty. And I didn't have time really to be chatty, which is my nature. But she had, because I was late. That made all that running around made me late for this pickup that I'm at right now getting loaded. I'm getting loaded right now. And so then I was like, oh, I should have probably drove a little farther last night or got up a little bit earlier. Because I didn't leave after my 10-hour break. I left a little bit. It was like a little over 11 hours, 12 hours. It wasn't to 12 hours, but it was over 11 before I restarted this morning. So I could have left a little bit earlier. But if they would have had the trailer at that Home Depot, it would have been no problem. Because none of my delivery with these trailers, none of it's like 10 miles away from each other. But here nor there, I got here an hour late. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. I had to wait for a local trailer truck to get loaded. And then like 10 minutes, 15. But I needed to do a 30-minute break anyway. So, and then when he pulled out, I backed in. And I got the red light. So there, I hear the trailer bouncing around back there. And I should have plenty of time to get home tonight. This delivers in Romeoville tomorrow. So I got 5 hours of drive time. As long as they get me loaded in the next hour, I'll have enough time to get home. So then I'll be home 2 nights this week. So that'll be good. The animals are happy. Not that they need me to be home, but they are happy when I am. I usually get home during the week at least once. At least do a drive-by. I might not get to stay the night, but I'm usually home at least once. Sometimes multiple times, but usually home once. Doing this regional, especially well, I pretty much have to go to Ohio, but they seem to send me to Ohio or Detroit once a week anyway, so we're doing this. But my distiller grain on my hopper bottom dried up. They didn't have any loads from my normal spot. They added some corn loads, but they didn't have any of the distiller grain. That could have been because it's just so horrifically cold. That fellow that my broker that I get my hopper freight from, he's got a load board that says what freight he has. So I kind of keep track of it. But I think they probably shut down because it's just so brutal cold. And maybe the conveyors wasn't wanting to run, or the fellow that loads that stands next to the trailer up above on a catwalk and watches that load. So he might not have wanted to stand outside in 10-degree weather either. In a building, not, big non-heated, it's covered. But that wind comes through there like crazy. So they probably said, it's too dangerous to be out doing this nonsense. Not to mention they run that on conveyors. They have a big building of that distiller grain. And then inside it, there's a payloader that loads it onto this big conveyor. And then he loads it onto the truck out there. I don't know how they weigh it. If it weighs in where the loader's at, or if it weighs on the... if they got another scale hopper up above. I'm not sure. But I am... I will be honest. I'm looking forward to getting back to the hopper. I don't mind dry van. I make a little bit more money doing dry van to be on the level. But I have to be gone. So I'd just soon be home and make a little bit less money and run my hopper than run this dry van. But I told Ark I was going to do this for a while, so I wouldn't want to do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then leave them. But by springtime, I'll be back on that hopper. Like I said, late winter, early spring, I'll be back on the hopper. And then they'll start rolling again a lot better too. The other thing that starts rolling in the springtime, fertilizer starts moving too. I really don't want to haul fertilizer in that trailer. I could, but I don't want to, because then I got to do washouts. And it's a little bit hard on the trailer. Corrosive. Where the grain and distiller grain is easy peasy lemon squeezy. But where are we at? Oh, 8 minutes I rambled on. I feel my trailer bouncing. That's a good thing. I'm trying to feel how far forward the forklift goes before he stops. And you kind of know how far front to back he is. This is a liquid place. I don't know if they're rebottlers, repackagers, I suppose is what you'd call it. Or would you call it just bottlers? I see some big tanks, and I see some little tanks. So they may be mixers, or, I don't know what it is when I slam the door. I only say that to say that this is probably going to be heavier. Coming down here was pretty light, so that was good. And there's scales. The reason I brought that up is there's scales. I came across 74 where I delivered, but I think I'm going to go back 70. Yeah. I think that's what I got programmed into the thing. So I may have to weigh this, depending on how heavy it is. Hopefully it's not too awful heavy, but... All right, everybody. God bless. We're already at 9:30, 9:24. Hope everybody has a good day. Maybe next video I'll talk about some of the politics that's going on in Washington, and the good and the bad and all of that's happening. And we'll go from there. Thanks for everybody that subs and watches and click like and all that good stuff. God bless everybody. We'll talk again soon.